So we're here tonight to celebrate 50 amazing people, 25 from the precinct, 25 from the Virginia Tech program, all Mandela Washington Fellows. The common denominator amongst these 50 people is their need to lead in service of others. And all of them have come here to learn better how to lead in service of others. And so we're also fortunate to have with us some very distinguished guests, some very important people. We have, famous authors, U.S. senators, we have business executives. And I'll ask you a question that Greg Fairchild asked some of us last night. Why are they here? Why did they come to help? Well, Renee did tell you to come, John. But why are they here? Well, they believe in service to others as well. They are people. Senator Mark Warner, my good friend. Mark, I'm so glad you could come. Ambassador Milan Vivir, thank you for coming. We have Veronica Veracova. Veronica, thank you for coming. We have Veronica's doing all this wonderful work in Rwanda. You'll hear more about that later. We have Zikamai Bear, who traveled 44 hours to get here, got here 3 hours ago, barely made it. One of our former fellows, an amazing character. We'll hear more about him. He's come all the way from Zimbabwe. We have the ambassador of Mozambique, Carlos dos Santos, who's come here tonight as a guest of Mike Ligon from Universal. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. So we have these people who have come because they believe that what our 50 young leaders want to do with their lives deserve support. And we have one other person that couldn't be here tonight who believes the same. And it's an unusual character. This is a University of Virginia graduate. We're one of the many that we're proud to claim. But Malcolm Brogdon is a professional athlete. And you all are familiar, you all know from, if you're alive in the world today, you know the famous professional athletes. And Malcolm Brogdon is one of the more famous professional athletes in the National Basketball Association. He was Rookie of the Year. He was a graduate of the University of Virginia. Was drafted but expectations were low. He ended up being Rookie of the Year. Has gone on to be extraordinarily successful and has just signed a $65 million contract with the Indiana Pacers. And so what would you do if you were world famous basketball star, Rookie of the Year, new $65 million contract? What would you do in your spare time? Well, Malcolm Brogdon has gone to Tanzania and helped dig wells to bring water to people who have no water. And so he's our kind of guy. And we have a brief video. Malcolm couldn't be here tonight, but he wanted to talk to you. So if we can play the video.
Good evening. My name is Malcolm Brogdon. I am a UVA alum. I graduated in 2016. While at UVA, I studied history for my bachelor's and I got my master's in public policy. Since then, I've been in the NBA. I'm in my 4th season with the Indiana Pacers. But while in the NBA, I've decided to use my platform to spread awareness for clean water. I've partnered with Chris Long, who is a former UVA alum as well. He has the Chris Long Foundation. Under that foundation, he has a nonprofit called Water Boys that focuses on building clean water wells in East Africa and Tanzania. I think we all have a platform. What I know about this dinner here tonight is that it is full of a bunch of young leaders that come from all different types of backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, very cultured, very educated, smart people that have a platform that could need to find what they're passionate about and really try to use that platform to spread awareness about your cause. And I just want to encourage you to do that. I'm a person that once I pick something to really focus on, I really go after it. I try to use my connections, my resources, whatever it is that I have, whatever people I have in my corner, I try to leverage that and make it a group effort. And so far, with my foundation, we've dug up and built a bunch of wells. We've raised a couple $100,000 this past year. It's really taken off. It continues to gain momentum. But I hope that can, encourage you to do the same, whatever it is, whatever your passion is, because it can be overwhelming at first, especially tackling a problem like clean water and poverty and all these things that, seem like they continue to grow. All of us can make a difference.
So one more thing you need to know about Malcolm. Within 6 or 12 months of his arrival in the NBA, all the players across the NBA had a nickname for him. They call him Mr. President. Because within 12 months, all the other professional athletes, the hundreds and hundreds of professional basketball players, had decided he was the one that could someday be president of the United States. So I have some people we need to thank. Most importantly, I want to thank our sponsors, John and Renee Grisham, Rick and Susan Goings, and my wife, Bruce. Thank you for sponsoring tonight's dinner. I'd also like to thank Mike Ligon and Universal Corporation. They've been steady supporters of this African program since we began. Mike, it's terrific to have you here again. I'd like to thank Lauren Hershey's family, Nayeka Chazor of the Cox Communications Group, supporters again for us tonight, Chip Stokes, Brenda LeClaire, and others from the Jefferson Legacy Foundation. All of you, thank you for sponsoring tonight's event. So with that, we're going to start dinner. I've been asked to make a suggestion. This is not a demand, just a suggestion. Thomas Jefferson, long before he was President of the United States and long after, liked to have people to dinner. And he believed in an old adage, one that I love, said, the adage goes like, common people talk about other people. Educated people talk about events. Brilliant people talk about ideas. And Jefferson liked to have dinners where people talked about ideas. And so I would encourage you, if you're willing, to have a Jeffersonian dinner at each table. So pick a topic, pick a moderator. Mark, you're the moderator at our table. So pick a moderator, have the moderator pick a topic, and instead of everybody talking just one-on-one to each other, see if you as a table, at least for a short while, could talk about that idea. So I encourage you to have a great Jeffersonian dinner, and we'll talk again after dinner. Thanks.